Yeah, hats off to Coach Self in Kansas. That's a good basketball team. I think that they've proven that they have a chance to be one of those teams that is playing towards the end of the year for a national title. Darren Peterson is a special player, and he got them off to a tremendous start tonight. And we have to take ownership in the fact that we allowed him to come out there and hit all those threes. We've got to be better. But he's a really, really good player. So give them credit, and we've got to be better moving forward.
Questions for players?
Parsa, what sort of went into the slow start for you guys, and then what changed late in that first half that you guys were able to get it going?
I think, as Coach said, we didn't start the game strong, and it's been like that a few games, and it's really been hurting us. We did the same thing here against Iowa State too. Second half we were pretty good. Second half this game we were pretty good. We won the game by 2 points, but it's just we have to play like that for 40 minutes. We know we have that, and when we play hard, we can beat any team in the country. But you can't play a team like Kansas, which is a great program, first half like that, and come out second half play hard and expect to win the game. It doesn't work like that. I think it's a maturity that we as a player we need to work on. We need to talk to each other and get that part right.
Isaiah, what just defending them on the perimeter, particularly Darren Peterson when he's going like he was early, how much of a challenge was that for you guys?
Like Coach said, we just let him get off to a good start. We can't let him do that. When we got into his body and we was forcing him to take bad shots, it went well for us. So yeah, we just can't let him get to a good start like that.
Coach, what were just your overall thoughts of the effort of the group today?
Yeah, I thought for 35 minutes we fought and we battled for the most part. That first 5 minutes, man, you dug yourself into a hole, and it was really hard to recover, especially against a good basketball team like Kansas.
Steve, you could tell. I mean, I could tell. Listen to Parsa. He's clearly frustrated. I'm sure the guys are frustrated. I don't know. Is there something specific that if we can just get this right, we can start faster? Or
well, guys, I thought we missed a lot of open shots to start the game. I thought we had good looks. I thought that we executed some things that we had started that we had wanted to start the game with, and we just missed. Right, so some of that is just got to be continuing to work doing our individual work and getting better and devoting more time to that and to the 300 club, and some of it is just Kansas is a top 10 defense in the country and they're very good. So again, give credit to those guys.
Darren just seems pretty unshakable with his pace and things like that. How much of it was him just being him, and how much of it was maybe you guys letting that actually happen?
Well, you can't give the guy space, right? I mean, he's obviously proven he's a very good three-point shooter, and we weren't there on the catch. Obviously, we talked about being there on the catch and making him a pull-up jump shooter rather than a catch-and-shoot guy, right? And that falls on me and the staff and the players. We've got to do better. But he's a good player. He's going to be a pro for a long time, in my mind at least.
Steve, just to follow up on that, he's one of several freshmen in this conference who are projected to be lottery picks. I asked Coach Self about it, and he said it's probably the best Big 12 freshman class he's seen. I wonder if you could just add some context to facing these guys, multiple,
Sure.
week in, week out.
Yeah, no. I mean, I grew up a Big 12 fan, obviously growing up in Texas and watching the Big 12, and they're good. I mean, hats off to Kansas and Bill for recruiting him and having the resources to recruit him. I mean, that's what you do, right? And so you have to give them credit for that. But I mean, there's no wiggle room in this league, and that part of that is because of the freshmen, and part of that is because of just overall how well coached and how talented people are. And so we've got to eliminate. We've got to continue to eliminate things that are that are keeping us from winning, right? We lost the rebound battle again tonight. We did win the free throw battle tonight. We turned them over in the second half especially. Those are things that we're continuing to help our program build and move forward. But when you allow Darren to make 6 of 10 threes and he only made 1 in the second half, made 5 in the first half, and there at the beginning of the game, you just dig yourself in too big of a hole against too good of a team, plain and simple. But yeah, the talent in this league's unbelievable this year.
Steve, who's the leader in this locker room? Who's the voice in the locker room that's really stepped up during this, after game 26?
Yeah, no, I think that we've had different people come and go, and that's kind of the ebbs and the flows of this season. I think that Parsa's done a really good job of maintaining that throughout the year. And again, we've talked about this at length. Parsa's a good leader. He's a good person. He's a hard worker. He should be a leader, right? And we've got to continue to have more guys that are consistent leaders, right? And it's easy to lead when things are going good, or going well, I should say. But we've got to lead when it matters, right? And when you get down a little bit, you've got to get your team together and rally them, and you've got to dig yourself out of the hole, and that includes me too. Right? I've got to continue to get those guys to empower them and continue to get them to become better leaders.
Is Curry all right?
What's that?
Is Jalen Curry all right?
Jalen's fine.
First game, I think, this season, you guys didn't have a ton of bench minutes. Just how important will that be for your starters?
Yeah, it was a coach's decision for him not to play in the second half. But yeah, he's fine, and we need him to continue to move forward and finish out these next 5 games. We've got a bunch of opportunities, and I know I sound like a broken record, but it's the Big 12. You have an opportunity to have a quad 1 win on the road at Colorado on Saturday. Got to go do it. And then you got West Virginia coming back here. You know what I mean? So we just got to keep plugging, right? Keep plugging.
You talk a lot about, obviously, the depth of the league and how there's no wiggle room, but is that kind of the benefit too, that there's always going to be games to kind of prove and improve your resume going forward?
Yeah, I mean, guys, we started off the year, 12-1. We get into league play. What are we now, 4-9? 4-9, and you got 5 left, and 3 of those 5 are going to be quad 1 opportunities. That's why you play in this league, because you want to play against the best. And, as I've said last week over and over, our program continues to move forward. We've obviously fallen off the bubble probably here tonight or even when we lost the other day. But we win on Saturday, and then you win on Tuesday, I believe, is against West Virginia. You're back to where you need to be. But the bottom line is you have to win those games.
Coach, at the end of the half over there on the first half, you went on a little bit of a run there. And I noticed also at that same time you were kind of stifling Peterson as well. You had Kanye on him, and he looked like he was doing decent with that. And as you were saying, try not to let him get shots and all that. Do you think that correlated to your team's run towards the end of the first half?
You know what? Really, really good question. Because there's a lot of people that probably missed that in the game. I thought Kanye did a fantastic job on him in the short time he was on him. And then he tweaked something in his shoulder or his neck or whatever, and probably that eased him back and wasn't as effective. But yeah, absolutely. I thought that Kanye was, he's given up, 6-7 inches, and I thought he did a heck of a job on him.
What was it about that matchup that you liked to
At that point, man, I'm just trying to find somebody that's fast enough and gritty enough and tough enough to be there with him and execute the game plan. And that's not knocking the other guys, but I mean, Darren obviously was really, really hurting us. We needed to try something different.
Coach, do you want this to be a one game at a time mentality, step by step, or do you want these guys to have a sense of what's on the line, what's ahead, have a sense of desperation about what they do going forward?
Well, I don't want them to have a sense of desperation, because you control your own destiny, right? And you're a good basketball team that has shown that you can beat people. So there's never a sense of desperation. But, yeah, you have to understand the big picture, but then you also have to take it one game at a time. In this league, when you're playing against such good teams, if you look ahead, it's a recipe for disaster. And so we try to stay committed to the process, right? We've talked about the process all year long when we got here in June and talked about the 300 club and getting better and continuing to build. And that's what we've got to stay committed to, right? I understand that we've lost a few in a row, and it stinks, man. There's nobody that hurts more than these 14 guys that are left on this team and our coaching staff. But we're not going to quit, and we're going to keep fighting, and we're going to put our best foot forward to go beat Colorado on Saturday.